Welcome to another Ripple update. So this is the third video in this series that I'm doing regarding, how the US dollar is affecting all markets across the board. So if you look back at my last video, I explained the A wave, even in the first video, how we had A wave as the biggest wave, right? Now you have to understand when A wave is the biggest wave, then the other waves tend to be smaller. So in the case of Bitcoin, the A wave was the smallest wave. So therefore, you're going to get B wave that's larger, it is larger. The C wave will be, probably fairly large, and or it could be part of a CDE wave or whatever it is, right? We're going to see definitely going to see a move down in Bitcoin soon. So this definitely fits the picture that we're seeing in XRP Ripple. Now, we know that XRP is its own thing. Ripple is the company that runs and manages the ledger. But if you understand what Ripple is doing behind the scenes with a lot of major banks and, businesses, companies, etc., then you'll understand the kind of use case that's behind this. Now, just because XRP has, lagged behind Bitcoin, it doesn't mean anything. Once you get a level playing field, you will basically see a coin that has gone up since 2017 has gone up over 100,000%, right? After you get this correction, I don't think that it's going to go just 100,000% from the end of E wave, by the way. We don't know where that ends yet, so we can't measure anything right now. I don't think that's going to be any kind of gauge as to where this is going. I actually think that this is in the beginning of a larger move, and that you have not even seen the A wave completed yet. So I don't think there's any reason to be bullish right now, apart from overall, if you're hodling, yes, bullish is the way. If you get lower prices, buy lower. I reckon it's going lower. So within an A wave, you have the first part of the A wave, which I believe this is, and then you have your B wave. So we haven't seen the full B wave yet. We've seen A, B, C. Right, that's a 5-wave move. You can't say that's a zigzag right there. And then you haven't had your D wave yet for the E, and then you need your E, and then that's B, right? And then you'll get your C wave, and that will just be the A wave. Now, because A wave will likely be the largest wave here, in my opinion, I do believe that it will be the largest wave here. I do think that the rest of the waves will be smaller, and they'll basically just be preparing us for what's coming. Now, I do believe that the US dollar is in the process of collapsing, which will be assisting this move higher, but also it's just going to be, in general, across the board, we're going to see a lot of bullish price action in stocks, cryptos, commodities, and precious metals. But before we see that happen, we need to see the correction. So for all those people out there thinking that, FOMO thoughts, I think that maybe you should just be careful and just relax, just chill, because I don't think that you have any reason to think that this is going higher. Okay. Now, this is using the waves. Now, I have seen recently a lot of people look at a pattern and try to make a triangle or some kind of consolidation wave, some kind of consolidation move that looks like a triangle. Like you could easily just put that there and say, that's a triangle. That's going to the moon. The problem is that if you don't know the waves, you don't understand certain things, right? So if you're going to call this a C wave, which by the way, that's a 5-wave move, you need a D wave. You need a 3-wave move. You have not seen a 3-wave move. So even though it looks like a triangle, right, it could actually be a B wave triangle. Okay, and it's not because it started there. Because if you're looking at, okay, so let's just look at this as a zigzag for a second, right? So you've got the A wave of the zigzag, right? This is fractal patterns, right? I've been trying to explain this throughout the last couple of videos. So within a zigzag, you got your first A wave. So I'll just mark it out here now, right? So you've got A, right? And then you've got the B wave. So the B wave ends after you've had the 33535 correction, right? Oops, sorry. So I'll take you through this. So, sorry. So the reason I'm keeping it green is because it's all part of the A wave. Sorry, this is D wave. What am I talking about? Sorry, my bad. One sec. So the D wave is actually blue. Okay, so when you're talking about a D wave, we're using the color blue. Okay, I'm trying to keep it the way we do it in AriasWave. Okay, so we need an A, B, C. Now it's the same thing for an A wave or a B wave or a D wave. They're all zigzags. So within a zigzag, you have the A wave, which is the green A wave, and then you have the B wave, which is the orange, and then you have the C wave. So the C wave cannot go, in this case, because it's going down, it's a downward moving D wave. The orange wave cannot go above the start of wave A. Okay, so in this case, this is resistance. Okay, so we cannot move above that level, and we have not broken that level. Okay, so after C wave is actually red, by the way. So after the C wave, you have a D wave. So that D wave is blue, right? So the D wave is still in progress. That's what we're seeing right now. We're actually seeing a D wave. Okay, so that's the blue D wave. So you could say that we're in a D wave of a D wave. Yes, we are. Okay. Now, a lot of the times I've noticed in fractal patterns using AriasWave is that D waves can exaggerate a little bit more because they're like, hey, I'm a D wave in a D wave. You know what I'm saying? I know that sounds kind of weird, but I've noticed this happens. So within that D wave, which is this D wave here, we have the A wave right there. Okay, so actually, how can we say this? No, yeah. So within the D wave, we have the A wave. That's right. And then within the B wave, so if I was to copy this, let's just make it a bit smaller so you can gain perspective. Then we have the A wave like that. And then we have, sorry, that A wave actually ended here. And then we have the B wave. Okay, so technically we're in a B wave of a D wave of a D wave. You get me? So the B wave is orange. Okay. So this is the A wave of the B wave. So within the A wave of the B wave, we've seen a 3, 3, 5, 3, what appears to be 3 right now. Probably going to see another little move up, and then we're going to see the rest of this B wave, right? So once we get the B wave, we'll see the C wave, like that. And then we're going to get the D wave, like this. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen here. It could happen a bit higher, but it's going to probably create like a triangle shape, more than likely, because we're in an area where it's sort of creating that sort of shape already. So, and triangles do happen in B waves. It's very common. So just say we do create that D wave, and then we'll create an E wave, right? Like that. Then you got your B wave, and then you'll get your C wave. So the C wave will be another blue wave down, like that, and that will be basically, well, actually it has to be roughly the same length as the first, the A wave, so it probably might go down to that midway point, right? So that'll be the D wave, right? And then we'll get the E wave, the larger E wave, which can go probably around maybe up to there, maybe, who knows? Okay, so now you can see that that is actually only just, actually that's only the E wave, sorry. See, I'm getting confused. That's not actually the full, sorry, 1 second. I'm just getting a little bit of things going on here. Oops. Right, sorry. So A, B, C, D, and then E, okay? So that A, B, C was only indicating the D wave. And that's why I use colors, it helps. So you had a mini D wave and then your E wave, and then basically then you'll get your sorry, it's just a bit hard to do this in real time. Yeah, that'll complete the D wave, okay? So that's what the D wave would look like, in my opinion, something like that, okay? And then you'll get your final move. So I'm not saying it's going to take that long, might take that long. And then you get your E wave for the larger D wave, correction. So this after this D wave, you'll get an actual E wave, which will be a larger E wave, right? So let's zoom out for a second. Okay. And then that E wave will be completing the B wave that started back here, okay, in 2018. Okay, so you had your A, your B, your C, your D, your E. It's almost like a little bit like an expanding. So it looks like to be slightly expanding because the C wave's a bit higher. The E wave might be a little bit higher than that. So if it's making higher highs, slightly might go around there, you know. For whatever reason, right? It could be that, you know, people might see that this channel is being broken, be a bit bullish, but that's all right as long as the length of the first wave A, it's gonna, you know, we have this channel going on here, so basically we'll be keeping that channel, although you may not go as low as that. It may go just, the only rule here is that it has to make a low. It has to be the final low. So it has to go underneath wave B. So it has to dip below, even if it's just a little dip. Sorry. Even if it just dips below it like that, it could go to 10 cents, right? So at the end of the day, that's not too bad. it's more about getting the pattern right? So that's just going to be a wave, okay? Now, the thing about this channel, right, is that if you've seen my other ideas, right, you'll understand that the correction can still be going to the downside even after this. Like in the case of the US dollar. All right, so even though you can see your A wave do that and not go as low, you might see the B wave do this, and then you'll get your C wave down and your E wave do that, and then you get your, sorry, the D wave, yeah, do that, and then the E wave might go down to that point. Right, so like I said, that if the A wave's the largest, then the B, well, let me just do this quickly so I can illustrate. Right, the B wave might be small. It might even look like it's part of that correction. Just similarly, because if that E wave goes higher in the B wave, and then it doesn't make that much of a low, but then we have this channel. Price still typically tends to head towards that channel, but how does it head towards that channel? It might be the rest of the correction. So this might give you a clue as to how sharp the correction will be, like how it might end. It might just end once it hits this low point, right? So once we get the C, let me just lay this out for you. The D, and then the E. The E might be the wave that goes down to the bottom of the channel, right? And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because that means that the correction will be over at that point, and that will be the end of wave 2 for XRP, right? And if that's the case, this thing is going to the moon after it hits that lower point of the channel. If it happens in this particular manner, right, I would be thinking that yes, that would be it, right? Would not be surprised in the slightest. You will get a couple of attempted breakouts until you get the final low. By then, everybody's kind of like freaking out, and then you'll get your move up. Extremely bullish move straight up, right? And if you've looked at the past, XRP tends to move when it's impulsive. It tends to move up basically in a straight line, right? And that's normal for impulsive moves, right? That's very normal for impulsive moves. So I'm just trying to give you a picture and understanding of what I feel the correction's going to do, which is really important if you want to get rid of that FOMO, right? Don't get FOMO, because that will prevent you from buying at lower prices, right? And if you think that this whole correction is over and we're going to the moon just because you saw some kind of triangle shape, well, as I teach in my material, just because patterns create triangular shapes, it doesn't mean that that's a bullish continuation flag or something. Because if the patterns haven't occurred yet, then the correction may be part of another pattern. Like in this case, it's the D wave, right? It's the D wave. So there's still a lot of ups and downs to go, in my opinion, right? I don't think we've seen the end of this at all. So in terms of AriasWave and me turning bullish, I've actually been able to focus in the right direction. Basically, I've been able to use my analysis and point it in the right direction, because my analysis is pretty good if I'm in the right direction. If I'm in the wrong direction, though, it can definitely cause a lot of problems, as it's happened recently. But in this case, I do think that it's going to give me a great opportunity to load up on XRP and other cryptos that I've been analyzing. So If there's any cryptos in particular that you want me to analyze in this respect, I suggest that you please leave a comment down below, and I will do my best to get to that. Please watch my other videos and stay tuned for more. Hopefully you found this video interesting and informative. Thank you for watching.